Did you have the ESPN app? Oh, naturally for tennis. Okay. All right.
Why would it be weird if I had the ESPN app anyway?
I don't know, because you don't. I don't know. I think of it with basketball and football and stuff.
But sometimes apps are just good for reference.
Yeah, you love apps. Let's start the show, shall we? Man, what a slow news week. Hardly anything.
I know
happened.
this one's going to be a tough one.
This one's going to be tough. We really had to scrape the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
OpenAI, people are asking the SEC to look into their... I guess that's the big story.
Sure, yeah. Okay, enough funning around. We're going to talk about how
was us funning around.
They shot the president and or the former president.
They shot our beautiful boy.
They shot him.
Look what they did to my beautiful boy.
Look what they did, to my beautiful boy. Just repeating what you said.
Yeah, no, we'll just do that.
So we're gonna dive into that. We're gonna talk about how they shot him, and we're gonna talk about the reactions, our reactions, who the guy was, the market's reactions to it, because that was the whole thing, the aftermath, and if we got time, we're gonna talk a wee bit about the economy.
It's gonna be good.
We're gonna talk a wee bit about it.
It's gonna be good.
This is going to be
It's going to be good, unlike the shooter's aim.
His aim was actually pretty good, if you consider. I think it was pretty good. He just got unlucky with Trump turning his head.
And the cops disturbing him.
And the cops
so
screwing up his mojo. Yeah.
I hope just before his head exploded, he said... He did an Austin Powers impression to the cops and said, "You stole my mojo."
Let's go into the comment of the week. That was pretty good. Okay. So comment of the week. First one comes from Drigsby on the benandmealshow.com.
Which it's important to note. There's a whole other comment section on
we've admittedly neglected
on the Ben and Emil Show app, and it's very fun. I do think they're very funny on there. There's a lot of funny stuff going on. And if you want that, head on over. Drigsby.
Drigsby said, "We've invested so much in this, we have to see it come. Investing in AI or jacking off on Adderall."
He was. That's a reference to something
from last week's episode.
Yeah.
And then this one from YouTube comes from Nosrach.
I like when you have to say the names.
Nosrach Tiek. "The last chunk of this episode was very much a caretaker losing steam after a long day with his ward." I think in that case, I'm the ward and you are my caretaker.
I believe
that is correct. Okay, boy, oh boy. Anything else to get out of the way up top? We both have gone potty. Okay. Oh, he mentioned the toilet. He mentioned the bathroom. Shut up.
Oh my God. Someone's
I'm a little testy. I'm not.
No, he's very hungry. So it's, as you've noticed, Ben's emotion has been very dependent on his drinks, his whatever he's ingesting.
I've got a Diet Coke.
And today it's a lack of ingestion.
And
I walked in, he's hangry as hell.
Yeah. I ate some potato chips.
Let's see if that tides him over.
Are they Miss Vicky's?
They looked like
That's my mom's name.
Let's see if that tides him over.
Don't try and find out where my mom lives.
Let's start.
You're not going to be able to do it.
I would cut that out if I were. They love a challenge. I would honestly cut that out.
Okay. Okay. I know they're not gonna. Okay, so they shot the president. They shot him right in the ear. If he was aiming for the ear, it would have been a great shot.
Actually. Wait, can you tell me where you were when this?
Oh yeah, I was.
This is our JFK moment.
Well, because this is our JFK moment. This is your 9/11. Maybe not quite. No. It's everybody's JFK moment.
Because only one American died, really.
I'll never forget where I was. I was on a rooftop looking at Trump through the scope of my high-powered rifle.
Trying to get your mojo
right
going.
as I was about to take the breaths necessary, I noticed that someone else had had done the thing. This is a bad. My brother warned me. He was like, "You should be careful. You don't want people going after you." I don't care. Anyway, I was sitting in.
You don't want people going after you for making light of the fact that he got shot in the air?
Yeah, I guess it's just not wise to make a joke that I was actually going to try to shoot him first.
I mean, you saw what they did to poor Kyle Gass.
Oh yeah, from Tenacious D. We'll talk about that as well if you haven't heard about that. Everybody's lost their damn minds, rightfully so. It's really unprecedented to the point where.
Okay, where were you?
I was sitting in my empty. I just moved, and I was sitting in my empty living room. The only thing in there was my folding beach chair that I had brought up from.
So you were full divorced dad mode.
Full divorced dad mode.
Scrolling Twitter.
Sitting there in the reclined position, waiting for the last of my laundry to be
Being
done.
like, I hope my kids think this place isn't sad.
And my friend sends me a link on Twitter that was from like a right-wing account. So I thought, oh, this is just a meme or something. And it was Trump got shot. And then I click it and I barely kind of sat up and just went, oh shit. and then, I that's where I was. Where were you? Playing tennis.
No, I was on the beach in Carpinteria. And
How are you doing up in Carpinteria?
Having a nice time on the beach. And I found out from you. Because I wasn't scrolling anything. Also, my phone was bricked. I finally got that brick thing. Couldn't even access anything.
Whoa.
And so
I need to get that.
It's great.
Yeah.
And it just said, Ben just texted me, Trump shot. And so I had this beautiful, because I texted back, what do you mean?
Careful.
And so why? Can we not say it? Can I not be honest that for a moment I was like, wow, we're all going to be awoken from this dream. And maybe they'll get Biden to step down or someone will do the same to him. I was like, we're going to be free.
We're going to be so back.
And then you were like, he's fine. And I was, no.
Yeah.
I had this beautiful little moment on the beach where I was like, it's all happening. We're going to be fine.
And then I think you sent me the Elon's tweet of, man, that photo is incredible. The photo of him with fist raised, blood coming out of his ear, and the American flag behind him. It's
I know, that's the thing. I'm big enough there are a lot of people, liberals trying to be like, it's actually not that sick of a photo. It's like,
shut the fuck up. It's an insane photo.
Not only is the photo good,
that doesn't mean that we think Trump is good.
Right. The photo's good. When you watch the video, I also have to give it to him that he had the wherewithal to while the Secret Service is trying to take him away, he's going, no.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
Well, he probably, whoa, what was that? My voice just did a weird bubble thing. He probably didn't even know what had happened yet. For all he knew, it was a BB gun or it was a paintball.
I think at that moment, he must have known shots were going off.
True. Yeah, true.
I don't know if he knew what happened to his ear. I don't.
I'll also hand it to him.
But
if
my
it
man's
were
got
me,
shoes flying off.
Yeah, I would have shitted and farted and peed. And
fully.
Everything. I would have been on the ground.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, get me out of here. They're shooting at me.
What they do to my ear?
What they do to my ear?
My perfect
it's my only ear. No, I wouldn't have done that. I would have grabbed one of the Secret Service's guns. Who did that? Who did that?
You think so?
Yeah, I would have said, who did that? Everyone, show yourself. Sir, they already shot him. Well, let me take another. Let me take a shot of this dead body. I wouldn't have done that. That fucking sucked. Let's see. So, let's recap. It was 10 minutes into his speech in Pennsylvania. He was shot by a 20-year-old guy named Thomas Matthew Crooks.
Cool name?
No, it's not.
But then you said Thomas Crooks is kind of cool.
Crooks is, I guess, kind of...
Tommy Crooks?
Tommy Crooks.
He didn't sounds look like cool. Something I would. That sounds like something we would call my friend Tom, who got in trouble for shoplifting at the mall in high school.
Crooks.
Would go, oh, check out Tommy Crooks.
Yeah. So
it's a pretty cool name.
he was in the middle. One could say that illegal immigration saved his life because he was referencing a chart of illegal immigration numbers that have gone up since Biden's been in office or something, and he's referencing it. And it's what's
That's why he's got that new ad where he's going, they are sending their best.
That's pretty good.
Comment if you like that one.
There's many reasons to be upset about this, in part because it makes him a martyr without actually dying, but the other big one for me is that especially the evangelicals and all the particularly religious sect of his following surely now believe that he is God's chosen boy, because for him to have turned his head at just the right moment,
wait,
I can see for some being nothing short of divine intervention.
That reminds me, there was I don't know who this person is. They go by Signal on Twitter, but they have a very funny, Trump is the luckiest human alive. The dude is coated in Teflon. Even bullets don't stick. Let's break it down. Born with the right family, inherited a fuck ton of money, 6 foot plus. I mean, I guess he might like the guy. Dated and had sex with infinite models and women. Was the playboy of New York. Talked about in his book how STDs were his personal Vietnam. Never got any. Paid porn stars and hookers for sex. Never faced any consequences. Hung out with Epstein even. Hasn't exercised a day in his life and lives off of hamburgers and coke and beat COVID at 70 plus years old. Ran for president as a grudge and won against all odds, all while making the most batshit insane comments. Turned his head by 2 degrees at the perfect time to avoid a bullet by 0.2 inches. Got full official immunity from the Supreme Court for all official acts he did as president. Just got his documents case completely dismissed. About to be elected for a second term. Trump is literal proof that karma and God do not exist. That
is so astute and so is that the right word? Poignant. I really do agree with it. Which is wild because for some it means God doesn't exist, and for the other side it means it's definitive proof that God does exist.
I think he's right on with if you're someone in the karma camp, I think maybe adjust your views, because
maybe he was a saint in his previous life.
Yeah, maybe.
Just an absolute. They're like, hey, you get to have a free one. Just go fuck around, do awful shit.
If you're sitting at home thinking someone's going to get someone who personally wronged you, I think don't waste your time. I think Trump is proof that you can be an abject piece of shit your entire life.
Hey, gang, we got something important to talk about. It's Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy men's skincare. You know, I feel really embarrassed. Actually, I don't. I don't feel that embarrassed.
I do feel embarrassed.
Because you didn't take care of your skin for a long time.
It's literally been...
And you're such a pretty boy.
It's been maybe 2 or 3 years now where I actually have a real routine, but I was guilted into it by female friends. They were aghast at my lack of skincare.
Yeah, for me it was just a bit of an afterthought, just doing the basic bare bones stuff. I couldn't even tell you, it's been so long. But recently, you start to notice things change. You start to notice the effects.
Like, why do I look like an old baseball mitt?
Yeah, which is good if you're a baseball mitt, but bad if you're a guy. So that's why we're talking about Pretty Boy's 6-in-1 Revival Moisturizer and 2-in-1 Fresh Start Face Cleanser. We got some of this stuff. And not only is the packaging really beautiful, which I appreciated, I like their logo too, but the product itself, fantastic.
It's great.
They it's like they had a line in like Biden straight to Xi Jinping. They've just got a line where I pick up the phone and they're like, Pretty Boy, and I'm like, listen, this is what I want in a product, and they just did it.
A nice cleanser to, clean out my pores, and moisturizers that got me feeling smooth.
Keep you glistening.
Dewy.
That's why, folks, I don't know if you've heard of GQ, but it's the number one moisturizer, according to GQ, for a reason. It's all about results.
Without the
results
fuss.
Without the fuss.
Okay? They're targeting the top concerns guys face with some of the most well-researched and well-respected ingredients in skincare. Their products perform where others fall short.
Women have their own stuff. Why can't we? Why can't the boys have some?
We say, hey, maybe boys get a turn.
So if you want to do something simple and effective, you need to check Pretty Boy out. Go to yoprettyboy.com and use code BAES at checkout for 15% off. That's yoprettyboy.com and use code BAES at checkout for 15%
And if you
off.
can't remember that, it's just what someone said to me on the New Jersey boardwalk before they punched me in the back of the head.
yoprettyboy.com. And you were like, .com?
And I went, BAES.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. So, lots of things. Elon, of course, right
also,
after.
wait,
what?
I want to point out this guy Thomas Crooks. There's not a whole lot out about him still at this point.
Right.
They don't have
The
They
FBI.
don't have a clear motive. They don't have a clear
No social
idea
media.
of his political views. It's a bit muddied. He was a registered Republican, but then they have this weird donation, which almost seems like it was a mistake or something.
It's
He donated to
$15.
like one of those Act Blue progressive turn it around packs.
He was probably trolling.
I honestly think he did it by accident. He donated the $15 and then like unsubscribed from the mailing list.
Well, then why would he shoot Trump? Does he think that is it an Epstein thing? Do you think? Who knows?
I don't have the answer to that. But yeah, there's not much. They found
bomb-making
explosives
materials.
in his car, like makeshift explosives in his car, and then bomb-making materials at his house. He's a white kid from the suburbs. They said the town he grew up in could be considered as like firmly middle class or upper middle class.
My favorite thing is how it's frustrating, the timeline that we're in, where coincidences occur that support batshit crazy conspiracy theorists. For example, he apparently appeared
in a BlackRock
commercial for BlackRock, the investment fund that's now
He's sitting in a classroom as a student that they kind of panned around in a thing they were filming.
So what do these conspiracy theorists believe? That the guys at BlackRock pulling the strings met him while they were producing this thing? Because nobody from BlackRock was probably there except for some marketing executive who was too busy on his fucking phone to bother. It's like a middleman at best, because it's a fucking stupid, dumb little nothing promotional video that probably got viewed by nobody. What is the guy there going, oh man, this kid seems really malleable and really emotionally vulnerable. This is our guy. This is exactly. And he texts up the chain and they work it up. And then the big wig at BlackRock, the Jew there goes, that's our guy. Let's train him up. Let's make sure he's our patsy. He's our Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, I don't know. I love a conspiracy theory.
Sure.
I'm definitely having trouble following the logic on a lot of these.
Of course, because they're nonsensical. Even if he wasn't in that, they would have found a way to tie it back to BlackRock. Something. There's always a way to make it work. But nonetheless.
Yeah, I also don't know if the conspiracy theory is that they like wanted him to. If the conspiracy is that they wanted it to be a failed attempt and for it to be this big moment for Trump, or if they actually wanted him to die.
That's
don't know.
Good point.
I also, there's not a long history of the CIA removing pro-business politicians.
Look no further than what the market did after this happened.
Right. I don't think.
I mean, so here, his odds of winning are now at 70%. And just for context, Reagan's approval jumped 8 points when he was shot. So it's actually pretty. If you want to talk conspiracy theory, mine would be that it was from within the Trump camp to really idolize it, to make him a kind of martyr figure like this. But how? He was already. You wouldn't be able to pull something like that off
Biden in
intentionally.
the nuts.
Yeah, he was already going to win.
I mean, this is unless the Democrats do something. I think this whole.
I will say,
instance has wrapped it up for him.
I saw a woman on TikTok with those stupid divining rods. You know those things? Do you know divining rods? For those of you who don't know, they're these fucking right angle rods that apparently can communicate with the spirit world. You ask it yes or no questions, And if the rods point inward, it's yes. And if they point outward, it's no. And just before we got here, I watched this woman ask it. I think she asked, was it a conspiracy theory? And it said no. And then she said, will Donald Trump win the election in November? And it said no. And she went, whew. So maybe the divining rods are correct.
Well, I think that tweet has just pointed out that God and karma do not exist.
That's
so I don't
true.
know if I can buy into this lady's divining rods.
Well, so anyway, Elon Musk
Also
came
with
out.
the before we even move on, I just
Sure.
want to talk about this guy a little bit more.
Who, Crooks?
Yeah. It is very confusing. Obviously, I think Trump supporters want to be like, this guy was a liberal. Liberals would love to be like, another Yahoo conservative. Classmates of his had said that he was fully conservative. They would do, exercises in civics class or whatever, where they're like, stand on this side if you believe in these conservative opinions. They said even on some of the most conservative issues, this guy would, and maybe he was just a troll. It also seems very likely that maybe he was, the most likely scenario is that he was a bit disturbed. They've talked to a lot of classmates who, did you see the video of the kid who said he went to school with them and basically just describing, he was like complete loner, ate lunch alone, heavily bullied.
Damn. Stop bullying people.
I mean, yeah. And then did you hear the stuff about he clearly had an interest in guns and stuff. He subscribed to I forget what the guy's name is.
Tommy Guns.
Demolition Ranch, a popular gun channel on YouTube, and he tried out for the junior varsity rifle team when he was a freshman, but they said he didn't make the team and never tried again. Another one had a bit more, was a bit meaner about it. Jameson Murphy, former classmate, he was such a comically bad shot, he was unable to make the team and left after the first day. Another classmate told the Post that the rifle team coach had concerns about Crooks based on some crass jokes Crooks made and how he interacted with others. Our old coach was a stickler. He trained Navy marksmen, so he knew people. Oh wait, this is the good one where he really lays into the kid.
It's a good thing it's going so fast.
Yeah, the internet's giving me a little trouble here.
I think that's good.
Suspected Trump shooter was once rejected from high school rifle club. 2 former team members tell ABC. He was asked not to come back because how bad of a shot he was. It was considered like dangerous.
Sounds like they probably all bullied him about it too.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they were very nice. I think if I was him, I'd maybe say, you know what? I'll show them I'm a great shot. How about a moving target from about 130 meters away? I mean, that's one way to get back.
I mean, that is. I thought you were gonna go with like a school shooting route. So I'm relieved that you didn't go that route, but I just did for you.
That is okay. With the rise of all the school shootings,
mm-hmm.
the loosening of gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a kid, if I was going to high school right now,
careful.
No.
You'd be nice to everybody.
Bullying would be the last thing I would do.
Truly.
I mean,
what are these kids? How are they still the most online generation? Still bully?
We've seen what happens when you push someone too far.
You got it coming at this point.
And I'm talking to other kids. I'm saying, why don't we all just maybe chill out with each other? Because politicians won't do anything about it. No one's doing anything
it's
about
up to
this.
You guys. Stop bullying each other. You're going to get shot. Yeah. They've got the gun. They've got access to the guns. And if they don't, their parents sure as hell do.
I'm not trying to victim blame. No one should have to feel unsafe at school. But my God, the balls it must take to be a school bully.
What are you going to do? You're not going to shoot me. Right. What are you going to do? Shoot me? You're not going to shoot me.
And he's
pussy.
Like polishing his gun. He's like, no, I'm going to shoot someone else entirely. The biggest bully we have in this nation.
Oh my God. That's why he did it. Because Trump's the biggest, he's the ultimate bully.
Yeah.
I think you just cracked the case. Columbo. Well, I'm sitting next to Columbo here. There's just one more thing. I got to ask you.
So there is some weird thing. I mean, I was watching something where they kind of were looking at the people in the back. You know how the people always stand in the back.
Oh, don't get me started.
And so you're like, sure, I guess it is weird how some people aren't necessarily reacting to the shots, but it's like, what? They told everyone in the crowd, like, just so you know, we're doing the shooting today. Don't get. And then
or the accomplices are like, damn, it's almost time. I've got him duck.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
And then
those people are just doing it for clicks and stuff. Because there's one of a woman, literally just, I responded to this jack off on Twitter because it was getting a ton of likes and retweets and stuff. She just sits down. It's like a standing ovation or something. And then she sits down first and is kind of looking around. And the camera's like zooming in and they're like, what did she know? She didn't know a fucking thing. Right. Man, nobody did.
And that's the thing. Don't come at me being like, come on, Emil, you love conspiracy theories. You love the JFK assassination. It's like, it's very different. All right. You read JFK stuff and they're like, we have 3 eyewitness accounts of Alan Dulles being like, I'm going to take care of JFK. And you're like, oh, well, that seems like something we should maybe follow up on.
And mafia ties.
If you show me, I'm down. If you show me something where I'm like, that seems
plausible,
suspicious,
sure. Yeah,
let's do it. But right now they're like, he was 20 years old and didn't have much of a social media presence. He's got no friends. What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
What do you want him to do?
What do you want? Have an Instagram to give him more opportunity to get bullied? Yeah. Nice picture.
And someone pointed out that it's a lot of older people pointing out the fact that he didn't have much of a social media presence. I remember someone telling me that Gen Zers and younger are much different than we are with social media, where we got social media and we're like, the first thing we do is we go, let me make sure they have my name. And you're like, great, I'll make my tag my entire name. Yeah. And kids were like, no, I'm going to be anonymous online. I'm not going to post my full
So then when I bully the future
name.
School shooter, he doesn't know that it's me.
Right. But so, it's unclear whether or not this kid really didn't have a social media account.
Oh boy, guys, listen up. Listen very, very carefully. This is extremely important. We're talking about trading. We're talking about stocks. We're talking about my favorite app, MooMoo. The last few weeks have been very good for me as a trader.
I'll say.
I got to tell you, it would not have been that way without the help of MooMoo and their whole slew of tools right at my fingertips. Okay, I'm talking about option screening. A couple of the stocks I've been trading on the MooMoo option screening tool. It gives me the alert that there's unusual options activity going on, which gave me a good heads up because I was going to cut some of these positions, but then I held on to them and they ended up paying off pretty darn well, So you've got the option screener. You've got, there were a couple companies I was wanting to do some research on. So fired up MooMoo, went in there, got a good closer look at the fundamentals that nobody else really has comparatively. Really helped me make an informed decision on my trades, and I think it would really help you out too. So you should really check it out, not only for that, but because of what my buddy here has got to tell you about, which is their welcome bonus.
Look, we got a huge thing for you here, all right? Everyone's getting a big, generous welcome bonus when you sign up. You're getting an exciting boost to your trading experience right from the start. You have the opportunity to receive 3 amazing rewards, all right? Number 1, 8.1% APY cash sweep.
Ooh!
Yep. When you enroll, you're activating to get 5.1% APY base rate plus 3% APY for 3 months.
What else are they getting, Emil?
Up to 15 free stocks. When you deposit $100 and you get 5 free stocks. Mm-hmm. When you deposit $1,000,
what do you
get 10 additional free stocks.
That's 15?
Yep.
Wow.
Lastly, there's a transfer in bonus. Get 1.5% cash back on your initial transfer amount up to $300.
Pretty darn good if you ask me. If you're out there, if you're trading, if you're curious about trading, if you just want to start, people always ask me, where do I start? Where do I dig in? Well, the way I did it was I didn't look, I just leapt. And you think about some of the companies you're interested in, go on there, check out the tools, and you'll be surprised at what you can learn. So get started now with MooMoo. The other thing that pissed me off about people's reactions, especially with Elon and especially with everybody who sucks him off, is the way that they got upset at the mainstream. It's so funny. They love to point out the mainstream media's failings because in this case, within seconds, CNN and NBC et al. Were putting out headlines that said Trump falls after like loud noises. And they all, Elon and all of these guys are like, look at how the mainstream media lies. No, you fuck. What do you think they're doing? They're just gonna like, oh man, we gotta like not tell people that he was shot at and just pretend indefinitely. It's called good journalism. They've got to wait until the facts come out. Yeah, it looks as though it looks a certain way, but you truly have to wait. That's why Biden also didn't say specifically like because you don't know all the pieces of the story. Yeah, it is very likely that it was an assassination attempt. But if you're a news director, it is your duty as a journalist to wait until the facts are clear before you put something in a headline. Which is, it's especially funny because Elon touts Twitter as like the place for news when it's chock full of misinformation. Like these people with huge accounts pushing these asinine conspiracy theories about a fucking woman crouching down.
Curious. Also, the last one people point to is the lapse in judgment by
Secret Service
and law enforcement, all that. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could boil down to incompetence. It is funny. Also, all these commentators just coming out and being like, even a layperson can see, that's a security risk. I'm looking at the charts and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. If I was in the Secret Service, I'd be like, looks pretty clear. I'm not going, what about that fucking barn over there?
Yeah, I think it was a glass factory or something. The poor owner of that factory's at home going, he shot from where? My factory?
Everyone's an expert all of a sudden. It's just, they're just posting these diagrams of like, here's where the shooter was, where anyone could see. But I'm also famously bad at my job and would be, if I was in the Secret Service, I'd fully be phoning it in. And I would say, looks clear.
If I were in the Secret Service, I'd give my life for the president. That's the job. Haven't you ever seen Clear and Present Danger? Is that Clint Eastwood? Help me.
Never seen it.
Okay, I've never seen it either, but I've seen the movie poster. That's got to count for something. So,
but that's all to say, I'm open to a conspiracy theory. Just give me something good.
Yeah, well,
give me something good.
So the Secret Service is coming under fire, rightfully so, because apparently there were eyewitnesses who saw the guy climbing up the thing and getting onto the rooftop, and there's video of them saying, there's a guy, and they're trying to tell the cops.
I tweeted about it, but I love the video of the guy in the visor with the fake red hair.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like, I don't know. If this guy was telling me...
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, buddy,
cool.
Why don't you go have another beer? All right, let me do my job. Then what's even funnier is these conservative nut jobs. As the Secret Service is piling him into the car, there's a couple women Secret Service agents,
and you don't like that.
They've got to make it a point to be like, well, what are they doing with this?
I don't want to throw him under the bus, but Ben texted me. I was like, DEI Secret Service.
DIE? You mean DEI?
I said DEI.
No, you said DIE.
It's hard to say DEI. It's hard to say DEI.
It is incredibly hard.
So I think I maybe mushed it together, but the joke still stands. He said that.
Yeah, did you see that they made him take off his shoes?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that.
I guess so he can run faster. I don't know.
And then people were saying he was so desperate to get his shoes back because there was lifts in them.
Yeah.
Because remember he said,
why would he need them?
Then he got knocked out of his shoes.
They what?
I thought they tackled him out of his shoes.
No, well, maybe they did tackle him out of his shoes. Which is crazy.
I've had so many shoes on in my life, dress shoes especially. If you tackled me, no way those are coming off. I don't understand.
Do you think he farted at all when they tackled him?
Definitely.
Do you think that when they tackled him, he was like, because, when I am a gaseous guy, I don't remember where I was.
I would love that audio. That might help in the campaign a little bit. If we can hear him do the ope right as he gets tackled, that's it.
I don't remember where I was, but I was laughing so hard a few days ago that I did feel like I was going to shit. And that's me. That's me, a young man.
Ben, a young man.
Yeah, but with this guy, so here he is getting tackled.
That son of a bitch.
It'd be funny if he's referring to Trump. Get that son of a bitch off the stage. So there they toss his shoe. That's not a riser. That's just that's just his fucking Dr. Scholl's insert. But yeah, I don't know why they tossed the shoe.
In case there's bombs in them.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. God, can you imagine if he hadn't made that turn, if he had not turned his head and his noggin got blown?
I can imagine. I imagined it for a brief moment in Carpinteria.
There are all the and I know that we've got a conservative contingent out there, and it's albeit a small one. I mean, no disrespect to you as an individual. I'm talking about the figureheads of the conservative movement these days who are just total effing idiots.
Oh, I
Assholes.
equally want Biden's head to pop in the same way.
Jeez.
What? I think it would be cool if
If it just popped?
if-
No bullet or anything? Just
No.
popped? He got a headache?
if Tommy Crooks had better aim and Biden was the one bringing out that chart to Trump and he just got him, he got a twofer.
The magic bullet theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was famously the one.
That would be very nice for me.
Yeah. My brother was really into the JFK stuff, so I watched a lot of documentaries when I was growing up. And it was all like, okay, so which one's the truth? I couldn't keep up. Magic bullet, etc. But so that's the thing with political violence. Everybody's now pissed off because, all the conservative people are pissed off because they're like, see, this is the kind of political violence that the left want. They are the ones who keep constantly touting for, like, man, Civil War, I don't know. We're going to have.
Well, this is what pisses me off, okay?
What?
All the left has been talking about, not the left, all the liberals and the Democrats have been talking about is this unique threat to our democracy and country. And then someone comes in and almost takes care of this unique threat you've been talking about, crying about, warning everyone of, and you're like, this is...
I don't think that they mean killing the guy. I think they mean like Biden said, taking him out at the battle box.
The battle box?
Yeah, let's watch that real fast. This is what Joe Byron had to say.
But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box.
And you'd think that that's
He says it again.
That it's one gaffe, right? You would think that, oh, he just fucked up. But then...
You know, that's how we do it at the battle box, not with bullets.
He also said another weird thing.
But in America,
Joe Byron said a weird thing?
Yeah. I mean, look.
No. Okay, we gotta talk to you about something
We
extremely important.
There's a
before we
big thing
continue.
here, all right?
It's really a big deal.
ExpressVPN is one of our sponsors here, and we want to let you know going online without ExpressVPN is like not closing the door when you use the bathroom.
Which would be okay if you were home alone or something, but otherwise you wouldn't do that.
Even
would
if you think you have nothing to hide, why give random creeps a chance to invade your privacy?
Yeah, that's gross. That's gross. And that's what you're doing online if you're not using a VPN, because all of your traffic flows through their servers. Talking about internet service providers, which includes mobile network providers. They know every single website you visit. And in the US, internet service providers are legally allowed to sell that information to advertisers. You ever wonder how they get so accurate with this stuff? Because they're selling your darn information. ExpressVPN reroutes 100% of your traffic through secure, encrypted servers, so your internet service provider can't see your browsing history. You got the door closed on that bathroom.
Now,
baby.
here's what ExpressVPN is doing for you, okay? They're hiding your IP address, making it extremely difficult for third parties to track your online activity.
Don't want them peeking.
It's easy to use, okay? You just fire up the app, you click the button, and you get protected.
You close the door.
It's working on all your devices, phones, laptops, tablets, more, okay? So you can stay private on the go.
That's right. So, I was traveling recently, and especially when you're out and about in a place that's let's just say a bathroom that isn't yours. Fire up ExpressVPN. I don't have to worry about
You don't have to worry about the
You don't have to worry.
yahoos at London Heathrow
the looky-loos.
creeping on what you're looking up.
And it's important to us because we're very precious about our information. Even innocuous though it may be, it's ours, all right?
It's not
Keep
cool.
your-
No
keep
one
your
should be
dirty
looking
mitts
at
off
it.
of it. So protect your privacy, protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/BAES. That's expressvpn.com/BAES. And you can get an extra 3 months free. Try it out. expressvpn.com/BAES.
That he was coming off. He had one big special week where he the NATO thing was going to be his big moment, and then he called Zelensky Putin.
Yeah, that was fun.
He called Vice President Harris Vice President Trump.
Well, and then he walked off stage from a thing
and did full Mr.
and
Burns.
he did full Mr. Burns hands. And that was my favorite take of the whole thing is we're getting it's our choices between a guy who's mentally Mr. Burns and a guy who's physically Mr. Burns.
That was a tweet.
It's that's. Okay, anyway, Elon Musk came out, now fully endorses Trump. He says he's going to donate.
Also, imagine if he had just...
He says I keep trying to say this. Go ahead.
I know,
Go ahead.
we're talking about...
No,
we
I know.
get to the Elon Musk shit. We talk about the guy all the time.
He's going to donate $45 million a month to his campaign.
The president does not get shot all the time. But, well, now I forgot because you got pissed.
Let me try saying it again and see if it'll come out. Elon Musk now says he's fully endorsed. It worked.
They could have fully taken the coverage off Trump and just said, you know what, we're making the decision, we're pulling Biden, we're going to have an open convention.
Ugh.
And all the news would just
immediately switch.
Change.
God damn, I didn't even think of that.
Instead of the polls just shooting up.
You mean the battle boxes?
Yeah, instead of everyone getting ready to go to the battle box. It's so crazy.
Crybaby Bill Ackman supports him now, and he said, "I've got a long."
He's supported him since before this.
True, but he in his true to form, he said, "I've got a long post coming." Like, oh great, he's gonna.
And you guys better not make fun of my wife.
Better not make fun of my wife. Like I said, his odds of winning are now pegged at 70%. And then a bunch of people. Jack Black just.
That's what we were alluding to at the beginning. Yeah, remember I made this.
Well, so
the joke about Kyle Gass.
Yeah, Tenacious D, Jack Black, and Kyle Gass. They're in Australia on tour. It was Kyle Gass's birthday. They bring out a cake. He says, "Make a wish," and he says, "Oh, I wish that the guy hadn't missed or something." And then Jack Black came out and fully just like didn't. I don't know if I would call this throwing him under the bus, but he posted on Instagram, "I was blind." I'm going to try to do it in Jack Black voice.
Also, I honestly kind of want you to pull up the video because what Kyle Gass says is so tame.
Yeah.
And it's such a... It's
nothing.
It's so nothing. And it's weird we've come to the point where, people are allowed to say such shocking things if they've, I don't know, if they're in like a certain political realm. But then... The utter shock. I was blindsided by. I mean,
yeah.
He literally he blows out the candles and says something like, "I wish he didn't miss."
Yeah, I wish he didn't miss. He says, "I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful to the fans for their support and understanding." Come on, Jack Black. Jesus Christ.
Well,
just say like, "Hey, sorry about that." But I guess someone in Australia, some political figure officially like deported them or something. So they put out something. I don't know.
Go home.
I was never a Tenacious D guy.
As a child, I really enjoyed them and I thought they were very funny. As you're supposed to.
I didn't get it. I was like, is this supposed to be funny?
What is there to get? Kielbasa sausage, your butt cheeks is warm. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah, I don't know. I found
Climb upon my big fat steed. Then we're gonna ride, gonna smoke some weed.
Okay.
That killed me.
Yeah. So all right, let me move through here. Okay, so now
cock push-ups. That didn't do anything.
That should be the title of this episode. Cock push-ups with a question mark.
That didn't.
I didn't know it because I didn't follow any of their shit. Man, Jack Black.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen him do. It's not surprising. He's done all the videos where he's like prancing around in a Captain America outfit and throwing a shield around and being like, "You need Joe Biden. We need him to get out there." And he wants to continue to be like friends with all his cool liberal Hollywood buddies and to not be shunned at parties and to get to be able to play, I don't know, Kung Fu Panda 6 or whatever.
And Bowser from Super Mario.
Sure.
By the way, it's Mario. If you're out there and you say Mario, you're fucking wrong. Any whomst. Let's see. The markets reacted pretty drastically. Bitcoin shot up because he famously has said that I will not touch your Bitcoins are safe with me. And then I found it interesting. Solar stocks were down. So here's the real thing.
Give us the real thing. You've been giving us the fake thing this whole time?
Donald Trump made about $900 million off of getting his ear shot off.
Very sick.
That's
a trade I would make.
That's a trade. And how, you might ask? Because true to form, I can't say that again. I said that once already this episode. I'm operating off of oatmeal and jalapeno chips today, folks. And Diet Coke.
Why doesn't he just eat better? I don't like
because I just moved. I don't have anything.
Just playing around.
You know what I've got? I've got canned mackerel, canned sardines, canned tuna, which I love. If that sounds pathetic to you, that's a you problem.
I'm about to blow your mind.
It's tasty.
I'm about to blow your mind.
You mean my ear?
Nope. I'm about to blow your mind.
What?
There is this thing called restaurants. And
yeah.
You can just go. You can call them sometimes. Sometimes they have apps, and you can just order whatever you want.
Thank you for that. I'll actually use that. I'll use that. I did eat a banana too, so I should take that back. And a nectarine. Okay, so I'm wrong about my own eating habits. Donald J. Trump, the Truth Social ticker symbol DJT, everybody knew that it was going to get bid up today because it's now just like if he were to have died, the stock would be down 80% today. But the fact that he survived and now it's likely, it's like a proxy for him. It's a meme. It's becoming a meme.
What do we think would have?
So his shares, the value of his shares went up because the stock went up 30%.
We've obviously been joking about it a lot, and to be clear, it's a joke, kind of. And but what would have actually happened if he had died? Do you think? I don't think it would have been. I don't think it would have been the gleeful thing I'm picturing it as. I think it
would have been a very big oh shit. We got what we wished for, and now we've got to reap the unforeseen consequences of that.
What do you think that looks like?
I think it would look like...
I think in that instance, there's no way they're not pinning it on some kind of...
liberal conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then it's becoming... It could plunge us into political violence and...
I think it would absolutely result in some pushback from
I'll tell you what,
people on the other side.
Could be a Run It Back, January 6th, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That's a good point. It could be a July 6th, Part 2 kind of thing.
January 6th, sorry.
January 6th? Did I say
July? Did I say January or July?
I don't know. I said July.
Only the audience can
Only
tell.
God knows. Because we can't rewind. This is real time.
This is live. Unlike Joe's. Also, was that statement Joe made... I guess it must have been live, but it looked like something they easily could have pre-recorded. I think it's probably...
Just in case?
No, pre-recorded and sent out to CNN.
Oh, yeah. There's no way that they had him go on live.
Well, that's the best part. But the best part is that they had the one where he said battle box twice, and that was the best take. They were like,
true.
I think that's as good as we're going to get.
It's just, yeah. Hey, Mr. President, can we run that back? Maybe he had a full diaper, and they didn't have time. Okay, Jack, I got a full diaper here. Jill needs to change it. Sir, you said battle instead of ballot. You know, all things considered, who cares? I got a dirty diaper.
All that matters is I tried my hardest.
All that matters is... So, here's one of my favorite things. After this happened, Trump truthed on Truth Social.
Of course.
I had never gone on this fucking website.
I famously have.
But did you read this? Did you...
you know what? I also want to talk about Melania's statement.
Melania?
I don't do names, okay?
All right.
I don't do names.
I've just got to read this to you, folks. Donald J. Trump truthed. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. This is my favorite part. Much bleeding took place. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. And then in all caps and an exclamation point, God bless America. So that's what he said. And then, yeah, the RNC is in full swing right now. Trump, he showed up. He's got a funny-looking bandage on his ear. And, so this is Melania's?
Yeah, I don't want to...
That's a long
I know,
statement.
I don't want to read the whole thing.
They shot my husband.
It's...
They should not have done that. The guy is dead.
It's just an odd thing. When I watched that violent bullet strike my husband Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change. Yeah, I'm sure she's probably the most pissed that her life didn't have a
I
huge
actually
change.
think that she's crazy about him. I think that I think she's madly in love with him. I think she's very grateful.
Well, this part I really love. A monster, this is so odd. A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine. She's saying that
He recognized him like it's an accurate thing. Yeah, that's terrible
Okay,
phrasing.
so a monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion. Another weird one. But his laughter, ingenuity, love of music? Is that what we know?
Well, yeah, he dances. Like
Sure, I guess he really
this.
likes, and inspiration. But the love of music thing makes me think maybe they have a different relationship than we know. Maybe she's like, Donald the music lover. That's why I fell in love with him.
What is this, Debussy? What is this? Rachmaninoff? Oh, this is great. I don't know why you're laughing at that.
It's funny. Oh fuck. Well,
What's the butterfly one or the fly? Oh, I love the flight of the bumblebee. Flight of the bumblebee. Melania, put on flight of the bumblebee.
we don't have to. But
Yeah, I
there
don't
was
give a
just there
shit.
was just some. I just found.
Yeah.
I found that very odd. I just like the fact that she said a monster recognized him as the
A
political.
monster recognized my husband as an inhuman. I'm sounding like the wife in Succession now. Well, so should we talk about JD Vance?
Oh my god, I forgot about JD Vance.
Yeah, so he just picked a very smart move, I think, picking not only a young person, someone under 45. Someone under the age of 70 to be his running mate. It is JD Vance. You might know him as a senator from Ohio.
You probably know him as the hillbilly elegy guy.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Did they make a movie out of that?
they did. On
Was Amy
Netflix.
Adams in it?
I think she was.
Did she win an award
And
or get
Glenn-
nominated?
I don't know. Glenn
just-
Close was in it.
I just remember not giving a shit about that, and it was just all the rage that year. Hillbilly Elegy and all the bleeding heart liberals, white guilting it to the top of. So I saw that thing, the dominoes with
Ow.
the teeny tiny domino
Ow.
going all the way to the big one, and the first one is like 2016
Upper
white.
West Side liberals.
Yeah, wanting to make a book famous, and then psh,
That movie was mocked. Like
it was.
It was
Yeah.
extremely mocked
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why?
because it was apparently very bad.
I also think the book and the movie also kind of do this. I didn't read it. I'm not going to read that book, but from what I've heard,
Wow, Mr. Book didn't read a book? Jeez.
Are people calling
Brace
you?
yourself.
Are people calling you Mr. Book?
People call you Mr. Book.
That's terrible.
Yeah. All right, continue, Mr. Book.
No.
Sorry, Mr. B. Mr. B.
But I think it's that thing where it's like the poor white rage at there's like I've read excerpts where
So you have read it.
I've read excerpts where
Okay.
he's
I don't know that word because I'm not a book guy.
call me Mr. Excerpt,
Go on.
but where he's pissed. He's a poor guy, he says he's working his ass off but not making a lot of money, and he's like, I saw a black guy on welfare who had a cell phone and I was working and I didn't have a cell phone. And so he's like, that means we need to kick everyone off welfare.
Yeah.
What I take away from this is make it harder for poor people.
I have a friend who told me the same thing. He works at a hospital, which was upsetting. He's like, you don't understand, man. People take advantage of the system. I said, what do you mean? And he said, you'll see all these people who are on like welfare, but they've got iPhones. Meanwhile, this guy's brother, 9 months out of the year, was on unemployment when he could absolutely find work, but he worked for the government and was just like, fuck it, I'm a seasonal employee, I'll just go on unemployment. And my friend would brag to me about it. He's like, doesn't that rock that my brother does that? I'm like, so it's okay when your brother does it, but not when these people.
Dude, I mean,
anyway,
it's endless. I have a family member who is
out them.
I'm not going to, very Trumpy, and
I think I know who it is.
You definitely don't. You
Shit.
never. I'm not very close with them, but at a family party, it was maybe 2 summers ago, fully bragging about how he's retiring. But he got laid off, and so he was like, well, I might as well take the unemployment and just fully milking it, and like joking about how he has to write an email in every week about how his job search is going. And truly a man who would just talk about, the laziness of people on welfare and government programs, and it is just infuriating. And you're sitting there going, don't ruin the family party, just go.
Yeah.
Cool
Damn,
story.
that rocks. That rocks.
Also, with these stories, it's what is your friend trying to say? That someone on welfare has an iPhone, so they're fucking living high on the hog? We need to what?
I don't even know what it implies. But so JD Vance, it's actually funny. Someone found, I don't know what video game it is. I think it's like RuneScape or some massive online
Multimedia.
role-playing game. Morp. But they found this guy's profile, and it's literally JD Vance, and his stats are spectacular, implying that JD Vance is like a major gamer, which is kind of fun.
Wait, so you didn't finish why you think this was such a great?
Oh, because
pick.
part of the Republican Party's problem is the competency crisis. Competency crisis, in quotes, in scare quotes. I love to piss people off with that. And because, it's all figureheads and old curmudgeons and whatnot, whereas the left is seen as the people who are smart and innovative and in tech. And JD Vance is a young guy, went to Yale. He worked in Silicon
Went
Valley.
to Yale Law School, editor of the Law Review.
He went to work at a venture capital fund or an equity fund or something in Silicon Valley.
Connected to Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel helped fund his election to the Senate in Ohio in 2022. So, I mean...
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely like a nod to the... I think...
The anti-woke tech group.
Right. And kind of
which is growing. The Elon Musk, the Peter Thiels.
Sure, yeah. And to be a bit reassuring to maybe people who think... Trump's whole thing was picking Mike Pence, and he's going for like the evangelical vote. He's getting a guy who like refuses to kiss his wife or whatever because God hates that or something.
Yeah, well, God does hate kissing.
And so, yeah, I think it makes sense. My favorite thing has been watching right-wing people slowly find out that JD Vance's wife is Indian.
Yeah,
that has been...
Oh, did you see Nick Fuentes?
Going, he has a son named Vivek. Is this
guy going to help the white race?
Holy shit.
For those of you who don't know, Nick Fuentes is a...
just out-and-out racist, white nationalist, white supremacist, fully admits it and is proud of it. It's
man, he's such a smug little son of a bitch.
It's not like...
now, there's someone I want to see get in the... That's what I'd like to see. Or... or run over by a...
The whole thing is very odd to me. I don't know. It's...
These guys are obsessed with the thinking that the white race is being systematically destroyed.
I don't know where I fall on any of this, but what has it been? Close to 8 years now, 9 years, 10 years, people have been calling this man the next Hitler and trying to convince you that...
Trump?
Yes, he is the next Hitler, right? And if you don't vote for him, you're enabling the next Hitler. Mm-hmm. But the minute someone takes a shot at the next Hitler, we all have to pretend like, where are your morals? Where are your...
Yeah, that's a frustrating thing about today's political landscape is you've got to...
Because I don't know about you, but if I saw someone take a shot at Hitler, I'd go, I wish they hit him.
Man, he had it coming. Yeah, sure.
And I don't even call Trump Hitler.
Well, so that's the Democrats are positioning. They're already going out and positioning JD Vance as like an extremist in abortion rights and a Project 2025 advocate. Interestingly, he was a major Never Trump guy, but now he's done a total 180.
Should we? I mean, is it worth pulling up some of his?
Nah. Look at the time.
I think didn't JD Vance call him Hitler?
Yeah.
That's worth.
He put it. I saw a great thing. He put it with a question mark. Is he the next Hitler? Question mark. And now the joke is that he's the next Hitler with an exclamation point. Like it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's.
So JD Vance, yeah. We'll see. He might be our next vice president, and then probably if Trump has a heart attack and dies or gets shot again, he'd be our next president. So, but there is some good news though. Trump and Biden did make peace. Did you see this? They sang a song together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is really sweet.
Do
you know what language this is?
Yeah, it's Chinese.
Don't say it like I'm supposed to just recognize Chinese whenever I hear it.
I mean, I immediately. It also helps
I'm
that
gonna
there's
play-
Chinese characters all over the screen, watermarks and everything. That's Chinese.
Okay, great. I'm so glad you're an expert. God, I mean, I didn't even think about it, but the Chinese must be looking at us like we're insane.
I think that they're mostly focused on their own country, to be honest.
Do you
I don't,
think
I don't
so?
think the Chinese give much of a fuck about what happens here.
That
I take that. Can I take that back?
I'm talking about Xi Jinping and Chinese officials and stuff like that.
Oh.
not.
Yeah, sure. They're definitely like, damn. They're definitely like, whoa.
Did you see the leaked call between RFK and Trump?
Yeah, I think I've got it right here.
Also, I'm so pissed. He was crying on Twitter about how he needs Secret Service.
Yeah, he said you can't have a functioning democracy when candidates aren't safe. Wait, what am I doing? Hang on. So sorry, everybody. You can't have a function. You can't. Wow, I haven't done this in a while. You can't have a functioning democracy when candidates aren't safe. Whether or not you support my campaign, please sign this petition urging the White House to grant me Secret Service protection. That wasn't very good, was it?
You kind of honestly,
shrugged.
much like Tommy Crooks right before he took that shot. You kind of lost your mojo.
I'd like to apologize to everybody. I haven't done the RFK voice in a while because, I just haven't had to.
But
anyway, yes,
they gave it to him, which is so.
Yeah. They gave him they gave him the women who.
I'm starting to think this country doesn't want anything funny to happen anymore.
What do you mean? This was funny in its own right. What are you saying? I love that there's on Emil's computer, there's a Twitter ad. It's 3 seconds long, so it keeps looping. It's this, is he running for Senate?
Yeah, it's an old Democrat campaign ad.
It's an old Democrat campaign ad for apparently a married gay candidate. It just
with
keeps,
2 black children.
Yeah, and it just
adopted.
keeps showing them up close kissing and then smiling with the children.
And
it's just playing on a
unfair
loop.
of Ben to do that because he knows I like it playing during the shows because it calms me.
It's also funny to see what's trending on Twitter right now.
I know, isn't that funny?
Yeah, isn't that funny? So what else do you want to talk about, old friend? We got into it. The big. This is pretty funny, actually. All right.
Oh, but I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, let's
but
wrap this up.
That wasn't what I was talking about. RFK weirdly, I don't know how it got released. He says it happened because he had a videographer at the house doing, campaign shit for him already,
Mhm.
and he said I should have told them to turn off the camera when he called, but Trump called, and they basically have RFK Jr. talking to him in person.
And he's got it on speakerphone, and
Yeah.
Trump's just telling him
The first part's cut off, but it kind of sounds like
they're making a deal to work together.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how it sounded.
And that
Maybe he was considering it and was just touching base to.
And that RFK Jr. is going to end up. Yeah, this is a fucking nightmare.
I thought you said you wanted funny things to happen. Isn't that?
No, that's true.
considered
That's
funny?
true. I need to look at the bright side. It might be funny.
Yeah. So So that's what happened, folks. They shot the president. He's fine. He lost a little bit of his ear. There you have it. And will it affect it? I think that everybody's like, oh, he's going to win. If the election were held today, yes, he would win. But we all have very short
November's
memories.
far away.
November is very far away. A lot can happen between now and then.
And a lot probably is going to happen. I'll tell you what, just a few short weeks, I was thinking, wow, what a not only is it a bad election, it's very boring. It's the same fucking guys, but worse. Their cognitive skills are even more in decline, and we just have to watch them get trotted out. But my God, I could have never predicted that the entire Democratic elites would turn on Joe Biden and make fun of him, and that Trump would get shot in the ear.
Yeah.
I think the next 4 months could be very interesting.
Oh man, I had a bunch of dramatic photos of the thing. I didn't pull up. Who gives a shit? You've all seen them.
You've all seen them.
There's nothing.
Seen him.
Man, he looks like. I will say in this photo that I've got right here. You remember Mrs. Doubtfire? Who could forget? You remember when he's got the mask sitting on the doll head?
Somebody stop me.
Yeah, that's exactly what Robin Williams says in the movie.
The
Mrs.
mask?
Doubtfire. Yeah.
Oh, you said the mask.
He's got the mask of the silicone.
Smoking.
The mask of the Mrs. Doubtfire sitting on the doll's head before he puts it on.
Smoking.
I'm gonna shoot you with a gun.
That's fine. I would just do the thing where I lift up my crotch really high. Woo!
That's extremely good. It's so good. But do you see what I'm talking about? Doesn't he look like the Mrs.
Yes, he
Doubtfire?
does. Yes.
Don't do it. Doesn't he look like the Mrs. Doubtfire mask?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Somebody is stop me.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
But yeah, there's gonna be so much going on. I mean, by the time this comes out, it will already be well underway, but the RNC is happening right now. But the day this comes out, Trump will supposedly be accepting the nomination with him and JD Vance.
I wish rather, and I should have said this earlier, I wish that the gunman had instead aimed for Trump's dick or his pants. Can you imagine cartoon style? It just shoots off his belt and his pants fall and he goes, no!
Imagine...
If he was a real if I were that guy, sorry, let me rephrase that. I wish, in fact, I'm not even going to say that. What would have been funnier to me personally, not wishing this, nothing like that, it would have been funny if the shooter was professional and fast enough to shoot down his pants and then shoot him.
Imagine Trump had to do the rest of the campaign dickless.
I mean, how would the conservatives? I wonder how they would spin it to
that
make
man
it that.
has done more with no penis than Joe Biden has ever done.
It's actually more masculine to walk around without a penis. They would find a way to make it work and make him win. That's the thing. Just like that guy said on the Twitter thing you read earlier, he's truly Teflon Don.
I know.
And just as toxic. Am I right?
You really cannot take this man down.
Yeah, he'll give you microchemicals in your balls. That's for sure. If you're still watching, what the fuck? I don't know what's wrong with you.
You're a freak?
You're a little freak. Someone said that they miss us calling them little freaks.
Well,
so
then
there
this
you
one's
have
for
it,
you.
You little
You're
freak.
a freak. You're a sicko.
You're a sick fuck.
You make me sick.
I really wanted to title this episode how Trump's, something about how he made money off of getting shot, but then I only mentioned it for just a moment. Is that fair? Do you think that that's...
Let us know if you think that's fair.
What was that? You pointing a gun at them?
Yeah.
All right, I want to stop.